We live in a society full of degeneracy, and I'm pretty sure that everyone knows that unless you are basically living under a rock. I look around me and I see degeneracy everywhere around me, on social media, publicly, and especially on college campuses too, and I honestly find that incredibly shocking, but not really when it comes to my generation. In fact, according to The Guardian, research actually suggests a link between social media use and depressive symptoms being stronger with girls compared to boys. And as many as 3/4 of 14-year-old girls who suffer from low self-esteem and depression are unhappy with how they look, and they have very bad sleeping schedules. Girls have reported being on social media longer than their male counterparts. And according to Anne Lawnfield, who is the Children's Commissioner for England, she reports that even some young children age 4 and above have become almost addicted to likes and social media. When it comes to social media platforms such as Instagram, Snapchat, she states, their use of platforms like Snapchat and Instagram can also undermine children's views of themselves by making them feel inferior to the people that they follow. Young girls have also become addicted to seeking social validation, which may be the reason why we may see very revealing pictures of themselves on the internet. But while they may be putting on the facade that they're confident and that they don't need a man, offline they are the exact opposite. This is why feminism is a bunch of complete and total garbage that's actually full of narcissism and arrogancy instead. These influencers that you also see with thousands or even millions of followers also feel the dark sides of social media, but they don't exactly display the real human parts of themselves either in a great way. Many young girls unfortunately want to become influencers. These are basically social media celebrities. Not only is this dream of young girls scary, but it's incredibly detrimental to their self-esteems. Yes, social media does have its perks, but I don't think that it should be an ideal career for women. In the Guardian article, a young teenage girl by the name of Shannon McLaughlin was one of the many teenage girls who opened up on this article about how social media has affected their mental health. In this article, she says, "Since being diagnosed with depression and anxiety in my early teens, my mental health has definitely been affected by social media. The sad truth is that people mostly share the negative things about life on social media without really showing the negative. This really affected me when I was struggling with my mental health, and I would constantly scroll through Facebook and Instagram. Seeing that everyone was happy and enjoying life made me feel so much worse. In fact, it made me feel like I was doing something wrong. Why was I feeling so different to everyone else? I'm not only affected with how I was feeling about myself mentally, but also physically. I was constantly confronted by women with unattainably skinny bodies who were praised for the way they looked. Even though I was size 10, it really affected the way that I looked at my own body. This was only made worse by the abundance of diet fixes and skinny culture promoted by influencers, whose posts are broadcast to thousands of people every single day. And I'm going to be honest, when you see girls every single day on social media who look flawless or airbrushed, it definitely kind of gets to you. The thing that I honestly don't understand is how women think it's empowering to post revealing pictures of their bodies on the internet. Most men do not actually find these revealing, provocative women attractive on the internet or in public. Most men actually think that these kind of girls aren't attractive, and in fact, many of them believe that girls like this are trying to seek too much validation or attention. Most feminists genuinely believe that there's so much pressure on teen girls and young women to portray themselves as sexy. But those revealing photos actually have more negative connotations. In a research study, researchers polled a total of 118 girls and young women. Each participant in the study, done by the website known as Salon, were shown 2 Facebook profiles, a more revealing one, and then a more modest Facebook profile. The non-revealing profile actually fared better, with respondents finding the more covered-up modest profile friendlier and more qualified to complete certain tasks. The biggest takeaway from this study is that it is super important for young women to be careful with how you portray yourself online. First impressions are super important, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with being a modest, classy woman, and I do believe that more women need to understand that. Lastly, since this show is called Kira Bowlby Unfiltered, I thought that I would end each episode by giving the younger generation a piece of advice. When I first got into politics, I was 12 years old, and I felt a little alone and isolated from the rest of my peers. While my peers were totally okay going out and participating in certain things, I was very alone, and I felt alone and isolated from the rest of my peers. And I watched a lot of political content at a very young age. So, I wanted to end each of my episodes of this show with a piece of advice to our younger generation. To the younger generation, I would say that, I don't want to see your bodies on Instagram. Stop posting degenerate pictures of yourself, because the impression that you portray online is incredibly important. We also, as conservatives, need to have people understand that conservatism is a lifestyle, and the way that you portray yourself online is incredibly important. First impressions are important, and I would rather see what's inside someone's heart than see their body put everywhere on the internet. I want to see what's in here, and I also want to see what are you passionate about? What makes you want to wake up in the morning or get out of bed? And that's something that I want the younger generation to know. You are worth so much more than an Instagram like, a follower, etc. And you are unique, but at the same time, as conservatives, we need to reject the degeneracy in our movement, and we need to instead embrace modesty and femininity instead. That means we need to embrace being classy as well. Lastly, I wanted to say that thank you so much for tuning in to the first episode of this show. My name is Kira Bolby, and please feel free and contact me. Follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @realkirabolby. Follow me on Gab. My Gab is @KiraBolby. And also make sure that you like and follow my Facebook page. My Facebook page is Kira Marion Kira Bolby, and make sure that you also subscribe to this YouTube channel. I also wanted to thank RLM for this incredible opportunity to get my points across as well. But anyway, that's all for me, and from New Mexico, God bless, and take care.